Yo, what's going on, everybody? In today's video, we're going to be doing positional tier list. I haven't done one in a while. Did one earlier in the year. We're doing one now. I know that we're going to get a lot of new cards coming up shortly, so it probably would have been better to wait, but I wanted to do this now. We'll update it again in a couple weeks or so, do another positional tier list, give some more cards a chance to come out and see what happens. I think it is a good time to do a positional tier list. A lot of people are, trying to figure out their teams and whatnot, and maybe this can help you. Again, I'm not here to tell you what you should put on your team. I'm just here giving you my opinion on who the guys that I think are the best in the game right now and why. Before we get into that, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn those notifications on. Leave a like on the video, and in the comment section below, let me know. In the comment section below, let me know if I missed out on anybody, because I maybe have. I'm not perfect, so we know that I may have missed out on somebody that I mistakenly did it. I didn't do it on purpose. And then also let me know what you think about the tier list. Lastly, make sure you follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok. All three links will be in the description below. So give me a follow on 3 platforms. I would highly appreciate if you did. And make sure you go check out my shorts channel on YouTube, pitching_rebel shorts. Go check it out. Hit the subscribe button. It is completely free, okay? The link to that channel will be in the description below as well. All right, let's go ahead and get into this tier list. All right, so first for the tier list, we're going to jump into looking at the catcher tier list. So this includes guys that can play catcher as their secondary positions as well. All right, same thing goes for any other position. And also I've used guys that I feel like are most viable. Obviously I don't have every catcher in here, everybody that can play catcher, just the ones that are most relevant right now. That's the way I went with in every position as well. So you're not going to see the whole entire inventory. That being said though, S tiers, I think you got Mike Napoli and Francisco Alvarez as S tier catchers, and obviously the creative player, but creative player does not count. He's just a creative player. You can put him anywhere you want, so that's really, you put him at the weakest position you have on your field. That being said, Mike Napoli in my opinion is the best catcher. I didn't put it in any order, and then Alvarez is going to be number 2, and then in the A tier you got Biggio, Piazza, and Diego Cartaya. I think those guys are A tier guys still at this point in the game. You're gonna have in the B tier, you're gonna have Johnny Bench, Kendall, Wilson Contreras. I see Wilson's more C tier. I don't know why I put him in the B tier, but he does have really good, I guess it's the contact and power against lefties still really good, so you can put him in the B tier. Kirk, even Joe Mauer at this point of the year, still B tier in my opinion. Has good contact versus both, good power versus righties, and good enough power against lefties. You got Jimmy Fox and then Jorge Posada. Posada, very good against lefties, holds his own against righties, especially since he's a switch hitter. Got to have him in that B tier. And then Yadier Molina, I just don't see him as a good player, as a good guy to put behind the plate at this point of the year. He's going to go C tier. Next, we'll move on to the first baseman. So we got the first baseman here. We got S tier. There's quite a bit of S tier in my opinion. You got Frank Thomas, Lou Gehrig, Austin Riley, Jim Thome, Babe Ruth, George Brett. All these guys are really damn good. If you want to go like the best tier, like if there was a higher than S tier, I would put Frank Thomas in there and George Brett as the 2 best first basemen. Frank Thomas still that guy. His swing is amazing this year. Has great attributes. I've tried to see if there's anybody that I can replace him with, but as of right now, nobody really does it for me. I mean, obviously George Brett at one point may move over to first and whatnot. The way I lineup rolls, I've got George Brett, Frank Thomas still in there together. Austin Riley could have been that guy, but I put him in the S tier because a lot of people like him. I don't dislike his swing. His swing is fine. I just find it where he has been super unlucky. I know there's people that have had great success with him, but I'm not one of those. On paper, he should be amazing, right? Great hitting, crushes lefties, has really good attributes against righties. He's better hitting wise, attribute wise than Frank Thomas. Higher contact and the power is just there, just about the same. Has those live series quirks that should help him, more, but he just didn't do it for me, man. He just lined out too much. But yeah, so then Gehrig, Thome, and Babe Ruth, definitely very viable options at first base. For the A tier, you got Giambi, Youkilis. Reason I put Youkilis in there, if you haven't gone to see his debut, it was one of the best debuts I've had this whole entire year. We hit bombs against Randy Johnson on Legend with him. His swing is absolutely amazing. It's top tier swing in the game, so that's why I put him there. I know his attributes aren't amazing especially as a first baseman at this point of the year, but his swing makes up for it. You got Jackie Robinson, Willie Mays, Justin Morneau. We got Matt Carpenter. We got Joey Votto and Jordan Walker. Those are my A tier guys. B tier, we got Delgado, even at this point of the year. Devers, Miggy Cab, and then that all-star Goldie. And then C tier, now Jeff Bagwell has amazing hitting attributes, good defense as well. Just unfortunately terrible. Wouldn't even say his swing's terrible. It's just so tough to see the ball with him because he's literally sitting on a toilet when he's fucking hitting. That's why I put him all the way down there. But besides that, he's got the stuff to be an A tier first baseman. It's just the swing, or the swing slash stance is terrible to hit with. Bellinger, definitely C tier. I know his defense and stuff, but the hitting's just not there for a first baseman at this point of the year. Cepeda has good hitting attributes, could even, has hitting attributes to be definitely B tier, borderline A tier, if not A tier. But again, another guy with a terrible swing. So you got Eddie Murray. Unfortunately, that contact versus righties is what puts him that much at this point in C tier. And then D tier for first base, you got Machado and Bregman. There's just way better options. So that is the first baseman. Next, we'll move over to another corner infield position, which is obviously the third baseman. So we'll get to that here. Next position we're going to move on to is the other corner position, which is third baseman. And the third basemen are stacked. So let's look at them. We got third baseman, right? S tier, George Brett, easy. You got Josh Donaldson, the retro finest. And then you got Chipper Jones and Austin Riley. Those guys are just above and beyond everybody else at third base, right? You can make an argument for Jim Thome to go in there, but for third base purposes, I would say those four guys, I'm sorry. We know George Brett, he's been, he was the first big collection. He's been the best hitting card in the game since then. You can make the argument that Kutch is, but I still think George Brett is slightly better. Donaldson has an amazing swing, great defense, and great attributes. Chipper Jones, what can you say, man? Great hitting, okay defense. He can get up to gold at P5, but the hitting with the switch hitting is just insane, and he has an amazing swing as well. Then Austin Riley, again, another guy. I'm not gonna do my bias, but I don't really like him. If it was on my tier list where it was just straight bias, he would be A tier, to be honest, because of the bad luck I've had, but I'm not gonna do that. I know he is an S tier player. Then A tier, you got Euclid, Miggy Cab, Jackie Robinson, Ernie Banks, Jim Thome, O'Neal Cruz, and Jordan Walker. You can make an argument for Ernie Banks to even go up to S tier, third baseman. Honestly, I can't remember. If I'm mistaken, I'm sorry. Again, I know I've had a couple mistakes in this, putting these tier lists together. It's not the easiest thing to do. I'm pretty sure he has third base secondary. I could be wrong though. But as a third baseman, he can definitely make that S tier part, but definitely A tier for sure. But he should definitely be S tier as a third baseman. You can bump Ernie Banks to S tier, even though it's not showing on the tier list. Then you got as a B tier, Machado, Castilla, Ron Santo, and that Lightning Devers. Machado, I can put him up to B tier as a third baseman because the other third basemen are not the best, or guys that can play third base are not the best, and also his defense does matter at third base. That reaction, getting those balls down the line or in the 6-hole definitely matters a ton. C tier, you got Javi Baez and the prime Justin Turner. And then D tier, Matt Chapman and Alex Bregman, 97, 98 overall respectively, but just don't make the cut for this at this point of the year to make it any higher on the list. I'm sorry. I should really put Bregman in the C tier. I should have really put Bregman in the C tier and then move Baez to the D tier at this point of the year. That's my fault. So Bregman more like C tier. So that is the third baseman portion. Now we'll jump into the middle infielders, who definitely have a ton of options because there's a lot of guys that can play middle infield. Not only primarily, but secondarily. I don't even know if that's a word. I might have just made it up. I don't care. Put it in Webster's dictionary. All right, so S tier for middle infielders, we got Cano, Jackie Robinson, Chipper Jones, Ernie, and Cal Ripken. Chipper can obviously play shortstop. Don't care that his defense is only silver. He's still S tier as a shortstop. In my opinion, he's the best shortstop option in the game right now. The switch hitting with the hitting attributes and the swing just put him in that position, in my opinion. You can disagree with me. It is what it is. I'm not going to be upset about it at all. That's how I feel. Ernie Banks, I would say he's probably the second best option for shortstop. He's definitely the second best option for shortstop. Great hitting, great defense. And I put Cal Ripken up here. He has good hitting, very good hitting, man. High contact, especially if you get him up to, you know, P5. Elite defense at shortstop. You can also play him at second base. He'll have, you know, 89 fielding at second base, so it's not really a thing. You can put him there, even though he doesn't secondary, he still does it. We got A tier. We still have Ketel Marte, man. This Ketel Marte, you know, super high contact, good enough power, switch hitter. Gold defense once you get him to P5, playing middle infield. Especially, you know, I'd put him at second base at this point of the year. Has a great swing as well. He's just A tier, man, for middle infield for sure at this point of the year. Even at this point of the year, he's a 93 overall. He's still A tier in that position. It's crazy. Crazy to say that. Dansby Swanson, A tier as well. Noelvi Marte, Xander Bogaerts, Volpe, Robin Yount, Brian Roberts. Brian Roberts is another A tier. Biggio, and then O'Neal Cruz. All these guys definitely fit the A tier part. Bogaerts is the only questionable one, but I think his swing is what puts him into that A tier category. He has good defense as well, but you can make the argument that he should be down to B tier for sure. But he is definitely clearly better than these other guys, in my opinion. Utley, Ron Santo, Elvis Andrus, Bill Mazeroski. I believe I butchered his last name. Don't really care. I wouldn't say I don't really care. I get upset when people butcher my name, so I'm not gonna say that in the comment section. Let me know if I did butcher his name. Javi Baez, B tier for middle infield. Then you got C tier, Ellie De La Cruz, Tim Anderson, Aparicio, Manny Machado, and then Bregman. Honestly, Bregman and Machado should move up to B tier as shortstops. They have one of the better hitting attributes for shortstops. I should not have categorized them in C tier. See, sometimes I make a mistake, but that's why we can correct them. We're talking about them. I definitely stated that I made the mistake, and then, you know, I'm telling you that they should be B tier. D tier, you got Andres Jimenez, Justin Turner, and then Nolan Gorman. No, at this point of the year, just no for middle infield. Sorry, not sorry. That being said, that's going to be your middle infield tier list. If I missed out on anybody, I could have, like I said, we all make mistakes. Let me know in the comment section. Next, we'll jump into outfielders. We grouped all the outfielders together. We're not just doing left field, center field, and right field. Because a lot of them can play both left field and right field, and then a center fielder is going to be able to play left field and right field as well. So we're going to do all outfielders jumbled together. We got a lot of outfielders, obviously. We got options that can play outfield and secondaries. S tier, we're going to have McCutchen, best outfield in the game right now. We got Juan Soto. We got Mookie Betts. You know what? Now that I look at Mookie Betts, I definitely left him off the middle infield list because he can play second base. You already know Mookie Betts is an S tier second baseman, so sorry for not putting him there. Mookie Betts is definitely an S tier second baseman, along with being an S tier outfielder. Sorry for not doing that. Definitely my mistake. Like I said, definitely a little bit tough to do this, get all the images, you know, do all the different templates on the tier maker and stuff like that. I was bound to forget put somebody where they should have gone, which is Mookie Betts. Definitely Mookie Betts is a big one. He should have been in the S tier for middle infielders, but you already know I'm saying it. Next, Larry Walker, definitely S tier. Babe Ruth, I still think he's S tier. And then again, Austin Riley, not going to use my bias and not going to, you know, he has gold defense in the outfield once you get him to like P1 or P2. Great arm, good enough speed, and the reaction is fine. A tier, we got Riley Green, Lou Gehrig, Chipper Jones. Chipper Jones, you can put him into the S tier. Only reason why I would say he's not S tier is because his arm strength and fielding aren't the best for the outfield. I know I got Babe Ruth up there, but at least he's a primary outfielder, so he's going to have better jumps on the ball and stuff like that. And he also has, you know, a pretty good arm. I believe once you get him to P5, it gets in the 90s. Chipper Jones doesn't have a good arm. But if you want to consider him S tier, I'm not upset about that either. You got Jackie Robinson, Willie Mays. We got Corbin Carroll, Julio Rodriguez. It's funny, this Clemente is still A tier in my opinion. You know, max contact, mid to high 80s power, and then he's got great fielding and you know, 70 something speed. I think it's 77 speed at P5. Very good speed for, especially with the reaction that he has. We're about to get a Clemente tomorrow. Okay, if you did not know that, didn't check the content schedule, we're getting a retro finest Clemente. Guarantee you, he's going to be S tier. If they make a card similar to this one, it wouldn't make sense to make a card. So I'm assuming the retro finest Clemente we're going to get tomorrow is actually, I am predicting him to be very similar to what MVP Mookie Betts attributes were last year, which were if I remember, or I checked it up, or I looked it up, I'm sorry. It was 123, 101 against righty off rip. And then he was 125, 114 against lefties off rip. We get a Clemente like that, he's S tier. I don't see why we shouldn't get a Clemente like that. I mean, you gotta, you know, at P5, he gets up to 86 power versus right and 90 power versus left, or 89 power, I can't remember. One of the two. So you're gonna have to boost up the power to make him noticeably different, right? Fielding's already maxed out on this 3000 hit club one, so that's going to be the same. Speed that starts at 72. I'm assuming the speed's going to start up, you know, somewhere at between 80 to 82, okay, for the retro finest. So definitely a big bump. He's going to have, if he gets over 100 power versus both, he'll have, you know, one of the best hitting. He'll be a top three hitting attributes in the game right now. Next is Stanton, has very good hitting. Unfortunately, his fielding is not there and his speed does not make up for the fielding. Seti Mullins, man, amazing swing. One of my favorite swings in the game. You know, that's why he gets into the A tier. He's got good hitting, good defense, and the swing just puts him into that A tier category. Yordan Alvarez, hitting attributes are still A tier for an outfielder. Then we'll jump into B tier. I'm gonna say Jason Dominguez is still B tier. Switch hitter, great speed, great defense, and a great swing. I know the hitting attributes aren't amazing at this point of the year, but the swing is really damn good. Euclid, another guy that has an amazing swing, definitely B tier for an outfielder in my opinion. We got Craig Biggio, Nick Castellanos, great hitting. Not great defense, but the hitting and the swing together make him B tier still. We got Johnny Damon, that's Akashi one. JD Martinez, another B tier guy, very good hitting, not great fielding though. Ketel Marte, B tier, borderline even A tier right now, even at this point of the year. Like I said, man, the contact is a switch hitter. He still plays gold defense, so he can play gold defense in left field or right field. I wouldn't recommend putting him in center field because the speed's not there, but he could play good defense in the corners. Borderline A tier, but definitely B tier still. Stan Musial, defense not great, but the hitting is very good. Another borderline A tier. If you want to go ahead and consider him an A tier, you can. Vlad Guerrero Sr., the second half card. Good hitting, good fielding, actually. The first time we get a gold fielder for Vlad. Again, another guy, B tier, that's borderline A tier for sure. Wouldn't be mad if you consider him A tier either. We're going to put him B tier because of the defense in the outfield that he's going to be able to play. And he has good pop and stuff. You know, this is a guy that can be in between B and C tier, but I give him the nod on the B tier. Bryce Harper, great swing, you know, good enough defense and stuff, good enough speed. B tier for sure. Al Kaline, not the greatest of swings, so that's why he stays in the B tier. He could be A tier because his hitting is A tier, but the fielding is as well, especially in the corner outfielders. He's a primary center fielder, but I wouldn't play him there. Doesn't have enough speed. The swing is what holds him back, in my opinion. And then Randy Arozarena, this 98 overall monthly awards one, definitely B tier. And C tier, we got Shane Victorino, Jason Hayward, Ken Griffey Sr., Juan Pierre, Vinny Minoso. I probably should have put him B tier, to be honest. He, you know, high contact, decent power, good fielding. He's definitely worthy of B tier, but never really used him, so couldn't really tell you how the swing is. So that's why I went with C tier. Grady Sizemore, two Takashis back to back. We got Alfonso Soriano and then Carlos Delgado. Soriano is getting a new 99 overall card, but it won't come out till October because he's the retro lightning, so we got to wait till that program is out. Franmil Reyes, this finest card. Defense isn't great. Hitting is really good though. It really is. He's borderline B tier, to be honest. Harold Baines, fielding is just not there. Hitting is good, but the fielding is not good. Matt Carpenter, hitting's really good. Fielding is terrible. I would not play him in the outfield. Best position for him is probably the corner infield position or even second base. He's a guy I didn't mention with the middle infielders. I would probably put him, honestly, I'd put him A tier as a second baseman. But for middle infielders in general, I put him B tier because the defense is not good. Garrett Anderson, borderline B tier. His hitting's actually not bad at all this year. Pretty good hitting, actually. So I C tier for sure. I'm gonna have to say maybe I was wrong on this one. I'm gonna put him in B tier. Lorenzo Cain, this finest one, never used it or whatnot. Hitting's not bad. Another guy that could possibly be B tier, but I really haven't used his swing, so I couldn't tell you. Anderson, I have used him, so I know his swing's pretty good. Then D tier, you got second half Griffey. Had to put him in there somewhere, right? Then you got second half Mickey Mantle and retro finest Richie Ashburn. You thought he was going to be S tier? I thought so too, but then after looking at him a little bit more, he ends up on the D tier. Man, I mean, Griffey unusable, and so is Mickey Mantle. Man, they just absolutely botched those cards, put them in a dumpster, and I don't know, do something with them. Send them to Alcatraz. I don't know what you want to do. Send them to Guantanamo Bay. Whatever you want to do with them, do that. Just get them out the game, man. Just erase them from the game and give us the 99, the real 99s for these cards soon. But no, they're just not. Contact is not good. The power is good on both cards, but contact's not good. Defense is great on Griffey. Defense is fine on Mickey. Contact. I mean, Mickey, shit. He was close. He was very close to being usable, but you just had to give him 77 contact versus variety, didn't you, SDS? That's why we're D tier. Oh, that is the outfielders. Again, if I missed out on anybody, let me know in the comment section. Next, we'll jump into pitchers. We'll start with starting pitchers. And S tier, I'm only going to put Randy Johnson. That's the only guy I think that's an S tier pitcher that I have still confidence at this point of the year. There's a couple guys that could make the S tier list, but when I think about S tier, the guy that I put out there and I'm like, yeah, he's going to come out and do his damn thing. Not saying that Randy isn't hittable. He's become a lot more hittable because lineups are a lot better. People have seen him all year, but he's still the toughest pitcher in the game to hit. With that being said, you got A tier, a ton of them. Grayson Rodriguez, Kerry Wood, Cole Hamels, Outlighter, Mike Mussina, Nolan Ryan, Corbin Burns, Daniel Espino, Johnny Cueto, and Pedro Martinez. Now, if you wanted to go put the top 5 starters in the game as S tier, I'd probably go Cole Hamels, Johnny Cueto, maybe Nolan, maybe Corbin, or maybe Kerry. Honestly, I don't know. 3 starters that you should have in your rotation, in my opinion, should be Cole Hamels, Johnny Cueto, and Randy Johnson. Sinker cutter guys with Cole and Cueto. Good hit per 9, especially Cueto. He has 113 hit per 9 to start off with, can get up to 118. Very good control. So they should be able to, they absolutely dot. So yeah, B tier, we're gonna have Paul Blackburn, Aaron Ashby, Martin Perez, Ida Blue, Sandy Alcantara, Yu Darvish, and in reality, I should really have in the B tier Roy Halladay, the 95 overall. He is still good. Sinker cutter combo, nice, slow splitter, very good control, good hit per 9 even at this point of the year. I should have put Roy Halladay in there. Sorry for that one. He should be B tier. C tier, we got Zach Greinke, Chris Sale, Waino, Bob Feller, and Fernando Valenzuela. Yeah, at this point of the year, those guys ain't going to get it done. Greinke has the best chance to get something done, but even then, I just don't find Greinke to be that good. D tier, you had to include that boy Catfish. If you saw my video from yesterday, if you didn't, go watch that. Catfish, man, he's so good, right? He's so good. Has the best pitches. 4-seam slider, changeup, curveball, 2 seams. Such a basic bitch with the pitches and terrible per 9s. Only thing he has is good control, but even that is not going to help him, man. He needs Jesus. With that being said, Hal Newhouser, Mark Pryor, John Smoltz, and Alek Manoah, man. Yeah, I don't really have to get into it. Per 9s are not there. Pitch mix is not there. They just got a lot of bad things going on. I'm sorry, you guys, that they did that to you. If it were up to me, you'd be a little bit better, honestly. But, it is what it is. That being said, our last tier list we're jumping into is going to be the relief pitchers. So relievers, we got a little bit of a boost recently with Chapman and Wagner. Those are S tier guys for me. And so is Raleigh Fingers. Okay, right now with the pitch, I still think the relievers are the weakest link in the game right now. But those 3 guys definitely should be in your bullpen for sure. I know Chapman's a little bit tough to get because you got to get 60 points in the program. You got to get Chapman. Simple as that. He's got to be in your bullpen. If you're having trouble with the showdown or anything as part of the program, message me on Twitter. We can talk about how I can help you to be able to pass what you need. So message me on Twitter if you're having trouble with the showdown still, or moment, conquest, anything for the extreme related program. Let me know. A tier, that Johan Duran, man, that outlier. Even though his hit per 9 isn't great, we've seen him pretty much all year as well. So he's starting to get a lot more hittable. But that outlier in the splitter with the fastball, it's a tough mix, and that slow cutter. He has a very nice mix. He's having a great year, so I really expect us to get a finest Johan Duran, but it's not going to be for a while. So with that being said, I still think he's A tier as a reliever. Like I said, relievers are a weak link right now. Devin Williams, again, a guard that came out day 1, still in my bullpen. Chad Green, good hit per 9, has a sinker cutter combo. I think, like I said, weak link. I don't even think he's amazing. I think he's good enough, especially with the relievers there. Like I said, relievers is the weakest link. We still need Mo. We still need Kenley. Still need a Blake Trinan. Yeah, there's still a lot of guys that need to come out for relievers. Rob Dibble. Yeah. We got Houston Street. Again, another guy I wish he had the pitch mix of his rookie of the year with the cutter instead of the slider. That would have made him, I think, better. Or even have a slider and a cutter. That would have been amazing if he had 5 pitches. But he has great control and then 125 hit per 9. So Houston Street's got to be in your bullpen, in my opinion. Gregory Soto, another guy with high hit per 9, outlier sinker, hard slider, change of 4-seam, should be in your bullpen as well. And then Jorge Lopez, I'll give him the nod into the A tier. I don't think he's great. Okay, good, great hit per 9. Pitch mix is, you know, sinker, outlier on the sinker. Slider's just not hard enough in my opinion. He doesn't have a cutter either. So, like I said, relievers are very weak. B tier, got Joe Smith. I think if Joe Smith had like a changeup or a splitter or something as a 4th pitch, he'd definitely be A tier, man. He's got that, you know, funky delivery. Obviously a sidearm submarine guy, sinker, slider, 4-seam. If he had a splitter, it'd be amazing because he has great control and 125 hit per 9. So really wish Joe Smith had a 4th pitch, but I think that's what's. You got Zach Britton, Brooks Raley, live series. Kind of like the Aaron Loop that everybody had at the beginning of the year until Aaron Loop was shit this year. So we have a good Aaron Loop because he lost his downgrades have been terrible for him. But Brooks Raley, if he's playing up, is definitely an option as a left-handed reliever. He has a sinker cutter combo. Alexis Diaz and Peter Fairbanks, we just got those. They only have 3 pitches. Fairbanks, if he had outlier on the 4-seam, could make an argument with him since he has a 125 hit per 9, but doesn't have outlier on the 4-seam. He only has 4-seam slider sinker, so even then, even with the outlier, would be still tough. But you know, yeah, no. Alexis Diaz even worse. 4-seam slider, 2-seam, just no. Ryan Helsley, man, kind of disappointing. I thought he was gonna be really good. I don't think his hit per 9 is good. He's got the outlier on the 4-seam. Unfortunately, they switched he used to have a cutter at the beginning of the year and they made it a slider instead. I guess Fangraphs shows that he throws a slider instead of a cutter. I think it's a cutter that he throws in real life, but if he had that cutter, man, he would definitely be potential A tier, or sorry, S tier to be honest. Steve Cishek's still good, B tier, even though the hit per 9s are low. He has the funky delivery, obviously submarine guy, and has a 5-pitch mix. Emmanuel Clase, great control, outlier on the cutter, but he doesn't have a changeup to offset any of the other pitches that he throws. Everything's pretty much one speed. Adam Ottavino, I think he's still B tier, man. You know, funky delivery. Only thing that sucks about him is the control is terrible, but he still has decent hit per 9 for the relievers that we have at this point of the year. Just the control is just tough. Then we got Goose Gossage, great hit per 9, just doesn't have the outlier, so that's what pushes him down to B tier. And then Trevor Hoffman, great hit per 9, just the pitch mix isn't. C tier, we got Troy Percival, Edwin Diaz, Henley Jansen, Joe Mantiply, and Andres Munoz. Munoz has outlier, but he has outlier 4-seam, a slider, and a 2-seam. Not good. Joe Mantiply, man. Hit per 9 isn't great and doesn't throw the sinker hard enough. He doesn't even have a slider either. He has a sinker, curveball, changeup, 4-seam. So pitch mix isn't even great. If he had a changeup, then he'd be A tier. He'd still be in my bullpen. His hit per 9s are great. He just only throws sinker, slider, cutter. So it makes it tough. Doesn't have anything to offset that. Then you got Josh Hader, man. He used to be A tier, but man, Josh Hader. Talk about somebody that's had a complete meltdown. Wow. A premier closer, probably the best closer in the game. You know, to start, definitely the best closer in the game to start this year. You made the argument he was the best closer in the game for the last couple years. And then all of a sudden now he's going to be a common by the end of the year. My goodness. What happened to him? And then Ryan Presley has great hit per 9, terrible pitch mix though. 4-seam slider. Doesn't have a changeup, doesn't have outlier, just not it. That is the tier list in total. Again, we have a lot of new cards dropping on. We have 1 new card dropping tomorrow and a ton of new cards dropping on Friday. We got the 30 legends of the franchise, the 30 henchmen. We got a diamond for each team, and then we're also probably gonna have a headliners pack. Maybe get another juicy pack set too. Who knows? Maybe we may also get another juicy pack set because we got the collection seems to be the third big Legends of Flashback collection seems to be dropping on the content schedule. If you haven't seen it, says, have you been collecting Legends of Flashback? That's obviously the hint. Maybe it doesn't come out Friday because they're not saying that it is. They just asked if we were. Maybe it comes out next week Friday. With all the cards dropping, I'm assuming that it is going to drop on Friday, so we get another card there. And then also they also put on the content schedule that the Home Run Derby X guys, so Johnny Gomes, Giovanni Soto, Nick Swisher, and Adrian Gonzalez will be heading to Seattle, or not Seattle. I can't remember where they're going. They're going to a new place to do the Home Run Derby X. So maybe we get some new Home Run Derby X cards. Last time we got 95s overall. This point of the year, maybe we get some 99 overalls. Nick Swisher is a 99 overall. That is enticing as a switch hitter. Outfielder that has pretty, I mean, his 95 overall had gold defense off rip. So I'm assuming that one's going to have a little bit better defense. But I'm not going to say that I'm not guaranteeing there's going to be new Home Run Derby X cards, but it wouldn't surprise me because they did put on the content schedule that those guys are going to a new place to do the Home Run Derby X competition. So with that being said, we may get some new upgraded cards for those 4 guys, and even make it into since then before more, you'll have 8 of them in the game. Maybe they'll be their own voucher. Who knows? We'll see what happens Friday. I'm hoping that they do. The more content, the better. As of right now, today, Wednesday, September 14th, this is my tier list. Again, if I missed out on anybody, please let me know in the comment section. It is tough to put these tier lists together. They're not the easiest of things. You got to get the pictures. There's a lot of guys involved. So let me know in the comment section if I missed out on anybody. I obviously corrected myself on a few of them as I went along through this tier list and saw them. But let me know if I missed out on anybody else that I didn't correct myself. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn those notifications on. Leave a like on the video, and in the comment section below, let me know again if I missed out on anybody. Again, I said it. I corrected myself on a lot of them that I saw as I went along, but let me know if I missed out on anybody, okay? Lastly, make sure you follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok. All 3 links will be in the description below. So give me a follow on 3 platforms. I would highly appreciate if you did. And make sure you go check out my shorts channel on YouTube, pitching_rebel shorts. Go check it out. Hit the subscribe button. It's completely free. The link to that channel will be in the description below as well. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Love y'all. Peace.